This time I remembered to turn on the autofocus. Things should look better. I won't look any better. Still an old fat guy with a broken tooth, but doing what I can. In 1679, French physicist Denis Papin created something that became known as the Papin digester. Years later, they started calling them a pressure cooker, and I think that was a change for the better. I remember my grandmother had one, big old thing, and it really kind of frightened me. And today we've got the Instant Pot. Now, yesterday we did chicken in it. I just kind of tossed it in, did what kind of looked good. Since then, I actually read the manual. And in fact, online I found a 55-page manual that really goes into how the thing works. And I'll share the link to that down below. I also read some of the recipes, and here's what I found. Now, if you saw the chicken, I did it for 9 minutes. I released the pressure, ate it. It was terrific. Most of the recipes say to let the pressure reduce naturally, and that takes about 12 minutes. So for most of these things, we double the cooking time. When it stops cooking, or when the heat goes off, it doesn't stop cooking. It's still 250 degrees in there, and pressure. So I wonder what that's going to do to the finished product. So that extra time, now, like we're going to do pork chops tonight, it calls for 8 minutes plus 12 to release the pressure. So we're into 20 minutes now. That's still a pretty good deal. If you do it in the oven, we're probably 40 to 45 minutes. Which kind of brings up another point on this. When you look inside the Instant Pot, the heating element is, I don't know, 25% bigger than my thumb. It's a little bitty thing. And the hottest it ever gets in there is about 240 degrees. Now, if you compare that to your oven, where you're cranking it up to 350 with big elements and you're running it for 45 minutes, the Instant Pot looks like it should be really economical to use. It should cost way less than doing this the way you've been doing it, if you're, comparing those kind of things. Some things it doesn't appear to be very good at. For instance, in the book it says shrimp take 1 to 3 minutes. Well, shrimp take 1 to 3 minutes no matter how you cook them. And if you put a cup of water in a saucepan with a steamer basket, it's ready to go in a couple of minutes. No fuss, real simple. So it won't be any good for cooking shrimp. But if it cuts the cooking time in half for pork chops or chicken, and it looks like there's lots of extra things you can do with it. So anyway, today we're going to do pork chops, see how they come out using the actual directions, and let's go for it. So I was digging around in the freezer and I found these pork chops. It also says April of 19, so these have been in there about 14 months, and that's a no-no. No, you don't want to ever keep anything in the freezer that long. But, I double wrapped them in foil, put them in a plastic bag. I'm going to do a video on how your freezer kills your food. We'll talk about that. Let's see how my wrapping, in fact, I double wrapped them in foil, put them in a baggie, and then put that in a bag. So we'll see if it held the moisture in. That still looks like a pork chop. It's not dry at all. I am going to do a video about how to put things in the freezer. And this sort of points out that it can be done. Yeah, we got 2 good-looking 1-inch thick pork chops. This is going to work great. Now on the chicken, we didn't really look at the inside of the pot. I'll show you how it works. I mentioned the heating element is tiny. This is it. This little thing right here, that's the actual heating element of the deal. It's spring-loaded, so it shuts off if you lift out the basket. Okay, then we've got the stainless steel cooking basket. And it also comes with a trivet. Most recipes I think all the recipes call for putting some kind of liquid in here. And you can put the food right in on top of that, or you can put the trivet in so you hold the food up out of the liquid. So what we're going to do with this is a cup of water, and I'm going to add some. I should have been prepared and had this opened up. But I'm not very good at prepping, right? I'm going to add in some Baby Ray's. And I'm going to paint some Baby Rays onto the pork chops. I want to kind of stir this up down here, mix it in a little bit. This isn't really the best mixing tool, but it's what I found in my hand. Trivet goes in. Pork chop 1. Pork chop 2. Rinse my hands off. Lid goes on. Pressure cook. And 9 minutes, that's close enough. We'll let it sit there and think about it. It's on. It's going to start cooking in a minute or two here, and then the timer will kick in. I'm going to let it go the full 8 minutes. I'm also going to let it reduce the pressure naturally for the 12 minutes, and we'll see what we end up with. I'll be back in a bit. The pork chops have run their course. I let the pressure drop naturally. Let's see what we've got. They look pretty good. Tastes great. You know, I didn't really do any seasoning besides some barbecue sauce. You could use a little salt and pepper, but that's easily handled afterwards. The more I do this, you know, the better handle I'll get on it. I think this thing's got a lot of potential. One of the things I was looking for in pork chops is that it's really, really easy to turn them super dry and tough. These aren't. These are tender, still juicy. Might be the best pork chop I've turned out in a while. Okay, that's try number 2 with the pressure cooker. The Instant Pot is actually a success so far. Hey kids, thanks for watching. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't. Helps me out a lot. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you soon. Peace.